Welcome back to Shum's Universe. Let me turn this down. So today, guys, we're gonna go over the secret rule in numerology that nobody really talks about. And this secret rule has to do with how you actually forecast your life, and it's a very important rule. And in order to understand this, you have to understand your relationship with the numbers, meaning what number you have, how you calculate your numbers, your life path, your birth number. You have to understand these basic things, and then you can equate that to how to forecast your life. So let's get right into it. So to start off, we have universal years, for instance, right? So we're in a universal year 9 for 2025. Cool. Now, most people are like, oh, well, it's a universal year 9, so I have to look at completion and resolution and bring things to finality and all these things. That is not necessarily true whatsoever. What is true is that you definitely have a 9 universal year, meaning things around you might be coming to an end. The world as a cycle might have certain cyclical things happen this year that revolve around the 9 energy. But when it comes to you as a person, how it's going to affect you, each life path is very, very different. So let's say you're a life path 1 and a life path 9 year. So 1 is a cardinal energy, that's to start new things. 9 year is the ending to that, so it's the opposite of the 1. You do not want to start new things as a 1. If you're a life path 7, it's going to be a bad year for you too, because it's enemy 9. If you look at Chaldean numerology to understand that very fully. If you're a life path 11, not the best year for you either. But if you're a life path 3, 6, or 9, very good year for you. Can you start new things? Kind of, yeah. That's the thing, and this is what you guys don't seem to understand, is you guys think, oh, well, universal 9 year, let me go calculate my personal year, which we're going to get to for the second half, and okay, well, I should do this. Not really. You have to look at each universal year in compatibility with your life path. Each universal year, you have to look at the compatibility of the universal year with your life path. If you're per se in your own trine, meaning when an 8, a life path 8 is in like a 2 or an 11 year, works very, very well. When a 5 is in a 2 or an 8 year, works very, very well. When a 1 is in a 4 year, works very, very well. But that's the thing, is each one is very different. And I'm here to explain to you guys different ideologies and how they work. It's up to you to figure out which ideology you actually like the most. I like Chaldean, so I give examples using Chaldean numerology. So, looking at the universal year, I already made the video at the start of the year explaining what life paths will do the best. Because it ends in 25, some 7s may do okay. I think that's very debatable. Not really. 7s are doing horrible this year. So it's more or less about your compatibility as a life path with the said year, right? And it's you guys' choice. If you guys want to follow the conventional way of just year, month, day, cool, and to calculate your life path, cool. I really don't care. If you want to do the time as well, which is the actual original way, because that way nobody would actually know what your life path is just by knowing your birthday, you can do that and know the truth. It's completely your choice. Moving on, you have the personal year now. The personal year is your life path for that given year, meaning for somebody like myself, I'm May 25th, 1994, so I'd do May 25th, 2025. I'm in a 3 personal year, very social time, yay. But I'm a 7. So with me being a 7 birth number with a personal number, a personal year number, 3, those are in opposition anyways. They don't get along that well. 7 is antisocial, and then 3 is very social. So I know this year I'll have a lot of networking opportunities available, but nonetheless I got to be careful with those networking opportunities because, well, I'm a 7, it doesn't work the best anyways, right? So that's the thing. And then I look at the universal 9 year and realize, well, it's a year of conclusions. Why would I do that? My life path 8 and 9 don't get along that well anyways, so it's not the best year for me, straight up, right? So you have to look at it in that sense of what is your compatibility looking like. If you have a birth number that gets along with the personal year number, you will have a very good personal year. That's why some people, like let's say you're a birth number 9, in your personal year 1, you might get fired from your job. Like you might actually lose a family member. there might be things that happen in your life that are uncontrollable, because 1 and 9 are polar opposites to one another. Some people will say they're enemies. I think they're just polar opposite. You have conclusion and beginning, right? So you have to look at it in that sense. It's like a birth number 6 person, because I'm using Chaldean numerology. This is you guys' opinion, doesn't matter to me. If you're in a personal year 3 and you're a birth number 6, there could be animosity there in your social life as well, because in Chaldean numerology, 6 is governed by Venus, 3 is governed by Jupiter. Those 2 planets are considered enemies. So as a result, it's an inimical time for you. So that's the thing, is you have to know how to actually gauge what type of year you're going to have based off of, for one, the ideology. You're following Pythagorean numerology, Kabbalian numerology, Chaldean numerology, Jyotish numerology, Cairo numerology. What are you going to actually follow, right? Are you going to follow some random people on the internet? Are you going to follow their numerology? You just got to figure out what sort of ideology you're going to follow. And then that way you can get a conclusion on the compatibilities between the numbers. And then you can gauge how your year is going to be based off that. Because no matter what ideology you use, what I'm saying still stands. If you're based off of your ideology, I like Chaldean, I think it's most accurate, it's the original. But if you like something else, cool, I don't care. What you have to look at is this. Does your personal year get along with your birth number? And does your universal year get along with your life path number that you're currently in? Right? If you have both of those connecting very well, you're going to have an extremely good year. Minus, it doesn't matter what your transit report says, it will supersede that. Your Chinese astrology, it will supersede that. That's the way to actually figure out whether or not you're going to have a good year at any given moment in your life. If you want to look at it in an astrological way, you then just want to navigate, of course, your transit reports, your progressive natal chart, things like that. You get to figure things out from there. But that should conclude the video, guys. It's very, very simple. If your personal, I'm going to repeat it one more time just so you guys very much understand this. I don't have to repeat it over and over again. If your birth number gets along with the personal year and compatibility, very good year. If your life path number gets along with the universal year energy, very good. If it's only one of them that get along and the other set don't, it's 50-50. You got to start looking at things like your transit report to then figure out what type of year you're going to have and then where the risks are and how you can mitigate them. It's really as simple as that. This is a fine science, guys. And if you're able to actually conclude what your beliefs are when it comes to an ideology you're going to follow, you then can start mapping out your life in accordance with that ideology and then start seeing the semblance and the good luck in your life. But if you don't do that, it's just going to be chaotic. You're not really going to see any of this stuff work. You're going to think it's just gimmicks, right? So that should conclude it. If you guys have any questions for me whatsoever, of course, just leave it in the comment section. I've got a lot more content on the way this month, a lot more secret glitches I'm going to come out with. Some of them are going to be debatable, some of them are not. But it really, what it's about, guys, is me bridging the knowledge to you. So when I'm bridging some of this knowledge, I'm noticing in the comments you guys are saying, oh, I don't like the life path thing, where'd you get that? Or my reincarnation video, you guys are like, oh, I don't like that. This is stuff that's just based off of studies. I never even said I believe it. That's the thing. So you guys are here. I've said it from go back to my very first video, March 28th of 2020. I said I'm going to bridge all of the knowledge to you guys. I'm not going to be biased. I'm not going to gatekeep. I'm going to actually bridge it to you so you guys fully understand what's happening in accordance with all these ideologies. I'm going to get into Cairo numerology, Kabbalian, Jyotish, all of that as well. Then I'm going to get into different things like palmistry, tarots, all of it, right? So that's the thing. But if you guys are going to go off about when I talk about reincarnations and say I'm copying other people or say da-da-da, it's like I'm just bridging the knowledge to you guys that you wouldn't otherwise have. It's really as simple as that. So if you guys don't want that type of knowledge, just let me know in the comments section and I'll just stick with the very basic minimalistic numerology. We can just call it that. But thank you guys so much for your time today. Like, subscribe, holla at me. That's it. Bye.